Hello and welcome. This is my 1996 Gray Fisher Marlin. It was given to me by a friend of a friend, and when I acquired it, I think we could kindly say that it had been suffering from years of benign neglect. So I took it down to a bare frame, gave it some clear coat, and converted it to a 1x9 mountain bike. All well and good, except I've got two other Ridgeys that I ride on a semi-regular basis. So I decided, using stuff out of my parts bin, to convert it to a drop bar gravel bike. I mean, I had the stuff on hand, so why not? Plus, I'd never done such a project before and it sounded like fun. However, when I took it for the shakedown ride, two problems surfaced. The first is that the vintage Cell San Marco Corsa leather saddle that I put on it, that was just horrible. It was hands down the most uncomfortable saddle I have ever ridden. I couldn't wait to get that thing off the bike. Secondly, the crank arm kept coming off on the non-drive side from the square taper. Well, that happened to two other bikes I've got, and they all had one common denominator. I had used these cheap Allen key restraining bolts. I had bought a bag of them on Amazon for like, I don't know, $5. Sometimes you really do get what you pay for, and I don't think any amount of Loctite blue would have solved that problem because I was pretty generous with it. So I ended up going back to the old style or top hat retention bolts. And this time when I took the bike for a ride, no problems whatsoever with the crank arm. It was perfect. Plus I had rooted around in my parts bin and come up with a WTB comfort saddle, and that's the model, not the style. I am presently running an 11 to 40 tooth 9-speed Shimano cassette that I bought specifically for this. The only other new part that I bought was the bar tape. Everything else came out of my parts bin, so I really don't have a lot of cash invested in this project, just a little bit of sweat equity. And actually, the bike does ride quite nice. I'm running a set of Bontrager Connection Trail tires on it, 26 by, I want to say 1.5? No, 2.0. And they're on a pair of Passac wheels that I bought last year, not for this project, but for something else that didn't come to fruition. So I consider that for my parts bin, even though they hadn't been used yet. And I'm using a set of micro-new drop bar shifters that came off yet another project bike from a few years ago that I've since, well, pretty much totally cannibalized. And it was a fun ride, actually. And it's interesting the looks you get from passers-by when you're riding what is clearly not a conventional road bike, but they're not quite sure what it is. At any rate, I had fun with it, and I think I'm going to have more fun in the future. Now, this is a rail trail upon which I'm riding, and clearly that's not gravel, but I figured just in case something went south on me, it wouldn't be too much of a walk back to the car. With that said, enjoy. All in all, I am really pleased with the way this project turned out. Had a couple of false starts here and there along the way, but it turned out pretty good, and I really love the way the bike looks with that patina, I guess you could call it, although that is somewhat of an overused word. At any rate, I like the bike, and as long as I'm happy, well, there you go. If you want to know more about this bike, there's a link to a playlist lower left, and there's a link to another video lower right that I'm pretty sure you would enjoy. And seriously, as always, thank you so much for watching. I sincerely appreciate that. Goodbye and have a great day.